Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Hi, I'm Fenton. I'm a low poly tube box living inside of your computer, and yeah, I'm here today to work on a project. My game project in Godot specifically, and yeah, how's everybody doing? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're hydrated. I hope you're feeling well. Yeah. Today we're going to be continuing the Godot project that I've been working on for a little bit. We are refactoring the code. And let's go upstairs and check things out. One second. I think, yeah, VNyan is being a little annoying, so I needed to pop it up again. Okay, one second. Let's go upstairs. And I'll give you guys a quick look around, just in case anybody hasn't seen this yet. Here you go. Just a quick look around. Sorry I was a little bit late after the countdown. I was finishing off some dishes real fast. Wanted to finish them before I started working on this, since I'll be working on it for 4 hours. Oh, and I forgot to put my glasses on to clean them off. One second, let me do that. Where is my... Need to wipe them off with a clean microfiber because one of them is currently kind of greasy and I need to get a new one. But one of them that I have for my second set of glasses that I use for work, that one is surprisingly cleaner, even though I bring it outside of the house a lot. The one that I had that never leaves the house is just greasy. I think it's from when I was cleaning my putting some cream on my hands to like get rid of my eczema. But yeah, just give me a second. I'm almost done. It would help if I didn't accidentally slip my finger out of the microfiber and swipe it across the lens. Almost done. Think we're good? Nope, that's not good. I was like, yeah, I want glasses because it'll help me while I'm sitting at my computer. And then also, I hate how greasy they get. Nice round glasses makes lots of space for the grease to be and to move around, but that's fine. It is what it is. Just give me another couple seconds and then I'll get started. I think that's good enough. Okay. Now, let's do that. Pressing that button should stop the spin. And we should be able to go... Oop, this one. And hi. Hello. I'm back. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to be working on my Godot project. We're going to be doing some refactoring of code. Also, I failed to clean my glasses. I'm sorry, one second. They are too greasy. One second, I'm going to spray them quickly. My streams are usually a little less weird at the start, but I really wanted to get the dishes done, so I'm sorry I kind of pushed everything into the last second. Probably not the best way to do this, but it is what it is. We've got 4 hours. And we might not get a whole lot done in 4 hours, but anything done is, you know, something. And so long as we keep moving forward, slowly as it is, we will get somewhere eventually. So, I mean, that's always nice. There we go. I think that's cleaner. Yeah, those are clear. There we go. As somebody who doesn't wear glasses very often, or who hasn't been wearing glasses for that long, and who doesn't wear them like 24/7, because I don't actually need them 100% to see, they just help improve my vision. As somebody who doesn't wear them constantly, greasy glasses drive me insane, because any little bit of imperfection makes my vision worse. So got myself some water. Now let's go back to this project. So last we left off, we had set things up so that we would be able to have everything nice and organized for our 4 game states: game over, game paused, game menu, and game play. Oh, hi, Impulse. How's it going? Hope you're having a good, I think, afternoon? It's afternoon here. It's 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. So I'm just getting started. I spent the last 3 minutes cleaning my glasses. Okay, so where were we? We had our game states here. So we had game over, game menu, game pause, and game play. And so we're going to have, it's 12 here. Okay, so you're on the East Coast. Sorry, West Coast, not East Coast, my bad. I get my East and West screwed up as much as I get my left and rights. But yeah, you're on the West Coast in that case. Or near-ish the West Coast. Okay, so if we look at our signal manager, the good coast, you mean? I mean, I've only ever been to the East Coast. It was a very cold coast, even during the summer. And that was like, I think I was like between 10 and 12 when I went there. And it was to visit my mother's aunt, so my great aunt. West has cookies for everyone. I hear it also has a lot of fire issues. And also, apparently you guys have Black Widows, so that's a big no for me. Okay, we don't talk about those. We don't talk about bushfires. No. Okay, so if we look at our signal manager, we have the delta function, which is just delta process delta function, which is basically our update function. And then inside of here, we have our statements. We have our states, which are an enumerator. Oh, that's right. That's what I wanted to do. I had set the signal, and I wanted to send that signal to everything else. So everything needs reference to the signal manager. So we need to give everything reference to the signal manager, which everything is going to be inside of. Yes. So we're going to have, one second, Kobold has the main scene, so it's going to be this, if I'm not mistaken. So if I go to my signal manager, or if I go to my player, so we have at on ready variable signal manager equals this. And I'm gonna do that for the 3 of these, because all 3 of these should have reference to the signal manager. Okay. And so they all need, one second, what does it look like for the things down here? Function underscore whatever thing. Okay. So connection calls. So we're gonna do, function on underscore on game state change, and then we're going to receive game state. Actually, I'm not going to put a pass because I'm just going to immediately do this. So, okay, how do we change this in here? Because do we have a thing for setting the game state yet? No, we don't. Okay, I need to check. I need to check how the. One second, I need to look at something. So, Godot enum set. How to set an enum. How to use enumerators in. Okay, I just want to see how you set it. One second, I want to... How to change... Yes, but how do I flip between them? No, I just want to see how you quickly change between them. Why is this being an issue? Godot change enum value. One second. I'll bring this over here so you guys can see it. I don't know if now you guys can't read it. So, if I'm not mistaken, you can change game state equals game function. 1 second. Ready. Game state equals. Oh, I can just do that. Game menu. Right? No. Dot. Does that work? Wait, how do you... I'll be lurking, but don't tell Twitch. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me. Okay, so I thought that an enumerator, an enum, was just like a drop menu where you could change the one that is active. Okay, let's check something. Godot enum. Okay. One second. Why am I having trouble finding this? Okay, but how do you change it? Clearly I'm using this wrong. It's a video tutorial, which I don't want to watch a video right now. Okay, so I need to make another variable because there's the enum, and then I need to make a variable. Variable game state equals game state dot game menu. Right? There we go. Because in theory, we will start on a menu. Okay. I was like, how do I do this? Oh yeah, this is just a structure. Or that's not the right word, but this is a constant, and we need to attach it to a variable in order to be able to actually use it. So all of these will need game state. Okay, I'm gonna set it to nothing for now. and we will change it in ready. So variable, I'm gonna put that here. Variable game state, enum, variable game state, variable game state. Okay, and now on game state change, game state equals underscore game state. Only one of these will ever be true at the same time. So I'm putting these if, elif statements. And I'm gonna copy this to the other ones over here. We're gonna do function on receive state change. On receive game state change underscore game state emit set game state dot emit underscore game state, and then game state equals underscore game state. Second. Okay, how are we gonna do that? So game state dot. Too many arguments for expected at most 0, but received 1. Okay, how do we do this? GD script enum. No, I don't want the video tutorial. Did I make a function for this? Okay. 1 second, let's make a function. Thought it was gonna be as easy as like I thought it was gonna be as easy as just like taking the state and then like sending it. I mean it is, but I just need to change the state properly. Okay, let's go make a function. Function set game state. Game state. If let's go back to here. I'm gonna take this, Control C. If one second, is there a way to do lambda in this? Because if so, then I could just return, one second, GD script lambda. One second, I'm gonna open it in a window. I'm trying to look on my phone, but that's not gonna work. Okay. Open Chrome. GD script lambda. Lambda. Variable greet equals function. Yeah, it's gonna be no. I'll just do it this way. Okay. Turn. Control C, Control B, Control C, B, C, B. Game state equals return game state underscore game state okay. Okay, so these are all going to receive the game state when they do that. So on ready, I'm gonna have them all do Control C. So signal manager dot what's it called? Game set game state. Set game state dot connect, and I'm gonna call it on game state change. Don't need that. And then all of these, all of these are gonna get this on ready. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do something real fast. So in here, just for fun, to make sure that everything is working, I'm gonna put I'm gonna make a function that is going to be for testing the game states to make sure that the return game state is working properly. So function test game state change. Okay, so test game state change is going to, we're going to take inputs, and then we are going to change the states. So we have 4 states, so we're going to set one to up, down, left, and right, just so that we can test to make sure that it does change between them. We're not going to care about if we're pressing multiple buttons at once. We just want them to be one at a time, because that we're just testing to make sure they can change. To make sure that this functions properly. So we are going to go input dot action, what is it? Get action second pressed. Is action just pressed? If, oh my god, I'm set to input. If input get action just pressed, move up. And then we're gonna duplicate this. Oh, first we're gonna do, we're gonna put return game state, Control C. Let's put game state equals return game state, and then we need to give it a game state. So we're gonna put, for now, it's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey Lakota, how's it going? It's gonna be 0. So this only for testing. Take a pie? Thank you. I was hungry. On up rest change state to game over. I believe is the first one. Yeah, it's game over, then game pause, game menu, then game play. So to game over. And then we're gonna just copy this. Control V. Elif 1. And then the second state is game paused. May the mighty eggplant satisfy you. Thank you. I could actually go for some eggplant tempura, to be honest. Game paused. Then we're gonna copy this. V. Second, actually, I want all of this. C. V. Third is game menu. Third 2. So this is going to be up, right, down. C. OV. It's going to be left. And we're going to set it to 3, because that's all 4 of the numbers. Okay. And then inside of here, just to make sure that everything is functioning properly, inside of these, we're just going to put a debug. Oops, debug. Print debug. State is game over. Control C. Just to make sure that this state machine actually works. Game paused. Accidentally removed the P from pass. Game menu, and then game play. So we're gonna save this. And then on ready, we're gonna set it game state equals, let's just put second. Game state dot game let's just put game menu for now. Okay. Let's press play on this just to see if things are working. Play this scene. Okay, so my button presses are not currently changing anything. Okay. Okay, let's put the whole game state dot. See if that makes a difference. Though, if I'm doing this, there's no point in having thing in between. Weird, it's not working. Oh, something did something. It'd help if I had this open. Okay, so clearly it's not getting inputs. Oh, because I'm an idiot. I didn't actually put test for state change into the update function. I was like, why isn't it working? Because you didn't tell it to do the thing. Okay, so let's try again with the numbers. Okay, two of the buttons aren't working. What's going on? Save. So, up and right are working, but move down. These two are not working. Game over, game paused, game menu, game play. Let's try again. Okay, something's going wrong. So, input is action just pressed, move button down. Game state equals turn game state 2. Game over, game paused, game menu, game play. Why are 2 and 3 not working? Did I not change the text? Game menu, gameplay. No, that's correct. Game. Let's see if it's a button issue. So. Debug. Button down pressed. Print. Debug. Button left pressed. Okay, see if these buttons are being seen. Okay, so something is happening. Because it's seeing these and then it's stopping. So what is happening here? So this should be 0. Turn game state, game over. What's going on over these spots? Second. Debug. Why is this null? Yeah, it's weird. These are null. Why are these coming back null? Zero, 1, 2, 3. Why is this null? That's why. That was dumb of me. I wasn't returning the game state, is why. So now, it should work, because it was just ending. It wasn't getting back anything, so it was receiving null. Gameplay, game menu, game paused, game over. There we go. This is working. Okay. Awesome. So this here can be Control K. Then I can only for testing. States. Okay, so that is not needed. Okay, and then we're gonna make a function for these. That's gonna be function. Oh, we need to signal. Request game state change. And then we're going to make a function which is going to be change game state. It's going to receive a state. So long as this receives either a number or just straight up something that equals this, it should be fine. So I'm gonna have it actually send the game state. So game state equals underscore game state, or no. Request game state change dot emit game state. So whenever this needs to happen, so I will, if we go to game over, we will change game state. We will use a change game state. Request game state change, which will emit to the signal manager, which will then receive it. On receive game state change, it'll receive this. It will then change its game state, return the game state. Okay, quick ad break. But yeah, I'll finish explaining this when I get back from ad break. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so just 1 second. Okay, so I'm wondering if I really need this that much, because the only thing that will be able to send some sort of change to the state other than the signal manager is going to be the player. If the player's dead, then they will send a request. So I'm going to change this around a little bit because it doesn't so much need... I mean, I'll still do the on-receive game state change here, but I'm thinking I should just send, like, on game over, because I think that's all it needs to know. Request game over, I think, is what I'm gonna do. Because the item, you should not have an item or a projectile that when it hits or something causes game over. It shouldn't cause you to go to a menu. It shouldn't cause you to go to, it shouldn't cause you to, the game to unpause or to pause. That'd just be weird. I mean, it's something you could do, but like, why would you? So we're gonna emit. We're just gonna emit. We don't need to send anything. Signal. We're gonna do function on player request game over. Okay. In that case, we're going to game state equals game state dot game over, and then we're going to, what is it? Set game state dot emit game state, which will send that to everybody. Because I don't think there's going to be a point where killing an enemy is going to change the state unless, you know, unless it's a boss. Maybe a boss will change the state. So I'm gonna keep on receive game state change open, just in case there's ever a situation in which I need it from something. But for the player specifically, I think I will set on player request game over unless we have like NPCs, like a shopkeeper or something that the player can interact with, and then when they interact with it, but that's still, the interaction is going to go through the signal manager, pretty sure. but we'll see. So I'm gonna keep it there just in case. In case another scene needs to change the game state. This is player requests game over emit game over game state change. Game over. Yeah, so if the player dies, on the player's death, they will I'm gonna put this one. Okay, we're gonna have the request game state change just in case. We're just gonna future-proof it a little bit. So request game state change. I'm gonna get rid of request game over. You know what? I'm gonna keep it on receive game state change, just because it doesn't make sense to have one that's specific if we have one that's general that can do the same thing. That it's a waste of code. So this one is going to emit. It's going to emit a which number's game over? Game over is 0, so it's just gonna send a 0. Oh, actually, it's gonna send game state, not 0. Okay, we're gonna create a function. On player death. And then one of the things that it's going to do is change game state 0. Because game state 0 is our game over. So it's going to send a 0, which is going to be picked up by this, and then it's going to parse that and return game over, which is going to then send to everything else, which is going to make it so the player, enemies, and projectiles, everything is going to then be set to game over. So things will despawn, things will stop moving, things will just move away. I don't know. Whatever they're supposed to do on game over, they will then do on game. They will be then set to game over, and game over will work. So that's what that is going to be. I'm gonna put space here, just because I think that they should have a little bit of space. This function parse else return game state I'm gonna put something in here just in case something happens that I'm not expecting. So if it doesn't go to one of these game states, let's say for some reason it sends a 5. Instead of everything breaking, it'll just return the game state. So game state will equal game state, which means that game state will not change state. And it will stay state the same state. Yes. Okay. So parse underscore game state and return a game state. Parse underscore games underscore state and return a game underscore state state. That sounds about right. Save this. Boop boop boo doo. Do 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 do. Okay, so on start, we are going to set game state is going to be set to game start or game play. I think that's what it, yeah, game play. And we're immediately going to send out so set game state dot emit game state. So then, since I'm sending the specific game state, which is the same across all of them. Oh, bisexual wool, how you doing? Sorry, I love the OWO in your name. Is there a reason why Godot decided to roll their own scripting language instead of sticking to something like Lua or C# only? Never mind, GD script is higher level than those two. GD script, apparently they wanted something that was completely built into it, and apparently it's what's the word? Anyway, they wanted something that was that worked perfectly with the thing, so they built their own they built GD script, and it's similar to Python. And you can use C# natively in Godot. It is an option. Same with C++. C++ and C# are options. By default, it is with GD script. And I think there's plugins to use Lua. So because it's open source, you can use whatever you want, actually. You just need to find the right packets or whatever to import into your software. I don't know how that works because I was learning Python and before I started playing with Godot, and I was like, oh yeah, this feels like home because I've already learned a lot of Python, so this is fairly easy to just jump into. As to why they did it, I don't know. That was their own personal thing. But I'm enjoying GD script. It's it is what it is, and what it is kind of fun to use. I'm no master. I've been using this for a couple months, working like 1 day a week. So I don't have a lot of experience with it yet, but I'm still learning. So we've got our variable game state. All of these need to onReady connect. They are. And then this will happen. So to see if this is happening, if I press play, it is working because my character will only... Okay, what's going on here? Oh, because it's set to gameplay, I forgot to take out the debugs. I need to debug. Yeah, so we know that it's working because player only does the walk animation if gameplay is currently the state. And by default, this one is null, and so on ready, game state, or this one will send the signal to game state to then, yeah, I want to check something. I want to try, if I press, check button press. Where's my check button press thing? Check button press. I want to, if I press down, I want to set, 1 second, let's do change game state to 0, which will game over. Actually, I'll just on player death. So we're going to test to make sure that the signal is sending back, but I don't think it is because I'm not connected to the player. Oh, I am connected to the player, but I haven't connected the thing. So I'm going to, on ready, we're going to player dot, what's it called? Player dot request game state change, which we'll see, dot connect, and that's going to connect to on receive game state change. And so if I press play, pressing left and right will make the character move. Now, if I press down and then press left and right, the character should stop moving. Oh my god, what is going on with the game? It worked. What is... Why am I... Okay, that was weird. Yeah. I really don't like VNyan right now. It is super jealous. If something else is running, it just, like, dies. Oh, this screen is making everything die. Apparently my animations are too powerful. Yeah, apparently I need to open this on the other window. Ugh. It's gonna be annoying. I forgot that happened last time. So, apparently trying to run Godot, or trying to run the game, just kind of breaks stuff. It takes up too much resources. Oh no, that sucks. Task manager. Yeah, the GPU has jumped up to 99%, and if I close this window, it drops to 96%. You know, big difference. Totally. There's too much going on. I was like, oh yeah, 2 screens should be enough, and now I'm like, I wish I had 3. Okay. But yeah, it worked. So the signal is sending properly this way. So when I sent, when I did this, game state equals game state, and I have change game state where it sends to 0. So it sends 0. 0 then comes over here. It is received, and then it is parsed through this here, return game state, where it then takes... You know what, I could probably do this if I'm going to be... I do want to parse it just to make sure that it's working properly, because I don't want to get random weird things. So I am still going to parse it. So it goes in here, the 0 goes in here, and because it's an enumerator, enumerable enum, the first one is 0, the second one is 1, third one is 2, the third one is 3, or sorry, fourth one is 3. And so when it receives the 0, it then goes through here. It says, does 0 equal this? Yes, it does. And then it makes it game over. Then it then sets, so then this is actually just, this equals game state dot game over. And then set game state emits game state dot game over to everything else. So things are working properly. I'm spending a lot of time on this back end because I want to make sure that this back end works properly, and then everything else should work fine. We had this game state thing here that we don't need anymore. This was specifically to test to make sure that game states were changing properly. Within this, now we have confirmation that things are working properly outside of this, which is nice. Okay. Stretch. Hey, Miss LaCane. How's it going? We're just refactoring code here today, because I am making I'm making it so that everything is a little bit more structured. Survive another day of work, so yay. Yeah, I feel that. My days of work are very, like, when I actually have to go to work, they're usually, like, really rough on my body because I work at a cat food restaurant. I work at a pet store, and we have a lot of, like, cat litter, which are, like, 40-pound bags, and we have a lot of dog food, which are also usually 40-pound bags, so it's a lot of lifting and moving 40-pound bags. It's not good. Okay, so this works. I do kind of the same work. Oh, well, good to know that I'm not the only one destroying my body. Yeah, I've got arthritis in my back, which does not help. This chair helps. I have a nice, I have like an office chair instead of a gamer chair. When I was looking for a new chair for my computer desk, I was like, maybe I'll get a gamer chair. They have like the pillows that like help with your lumbar support. And then I went down a huge rabbit hole. Yeah, and management doesn't help at all, seeing our equipment is a decade out of date. Yeah. But yeah, I went down a huge rabbit hole talking about how gamer chairs are like a huge scam and they actually make your back worse. And so I asked a friend who used to work at a Staples for information, and they gave me a lot of information. And then I picked this chair, which the only thing I wish it could do is I wish it was able to like tilt forward, because if it could tilt forward, then I could keep my back straight while also being a bit closer to the screen. But this one has me sitting back properly, and it has really pronounced lumbar support, which is really helping my back. Like sitting in my computer desk is like, I can sit at my computer desk for like hours and hours and hours without issue. But if I lay in my bed for hours and hours and hours, I become so sore. What was I doing? Okay. This is commented. Over here, we're gonna comment what is going on. So, on ready, set game state to game play. Emit game state to other scenes. Actually, connecting should probably be the first thing I do. Connect to layer. Signal. But yeah, gamer chairs are apparently very uncomfortable, and like, because they're made of like vinyl or faux leather, you like slip in them a lot, so you like slowly slouch downwards. This chair usually has me firmly in place. Though it's a chair that I can't really, I need pants on, or else it just like chews into my legs because of the texture of the seat. I had one for so long, and I swear it caused a bump in my shoulder. A bump? A bump in your shoulder. Ugh. This chair is like perfect height for me, so when Hammy goes to sit in it, he's much taller than me. So he sits down, and the headrest is like digging into the back of his to like the back of his neck / like his upper back, like sitting in it wrong for years. Ugh. My previous chair was very uncomfortable. I got it on Amazon. This chair is much more comfortable. I also got it on Amazon, but I actually did like I actually had like money to put towards it. The other one was like, I just want to not be sitting on the couch. But this one was, I have a desk and I want to be sitting at my desk properly. Game paused function. We can minimize these for now. On receive, game state change. In case another scene needs to be changed, needs to change the game state. So this here is being called when this does change game state. Request game state change. Okay, so what else should we do in signal management? We should probably go through these and see what's going on. This is where stuff happens when game is over, is called if player dies and does not have some sort of extra life. We should probably make, for now, we should probably make a game button that maybe connects to the camera, I don't know. We should have a button that pops up when game is over. Only when game is over. If anything else, if it is not there, the game, it will hide. Okay, game paused. That's where stuff happens when the game is paused. Player, enemies, and projectiles stop. Pause menu is shown. Game menu. This is where stuff happens in menus. Shops, upgrade menus, level up menus, players and enemies, and projectiles stop. Gameplay. This is where the majority of the game will function. Player, enemies, and projectiles run as normal. Update player, update enemies, update projectiles. And then these guys, these have them all too. So, if I press play, first of all, I'm going to start breaking as soon as I click into it. Yeah, my frame rate is dying. We've got walk. We've got walk. And if I press down, so I set it so that if I press down, it is set to game over, and as you can see, the character no longer moves. Little Drago takes up a lot of CPU. Yeah, my little kobold apparently is very power intensive. I think more so it just like allocates a random or a very specific number of space to your graphics card in order to like play around or give you, I don't know. I feel like it just allocates a certain amount of GPU when it press play, but currently I'm using it on the same GPU that I have VNyan, VC face, and motion, so my computer's not happy. Because I have OBS in the other screen. I could put OBS on that screen. I'd have to stop the stream though, which I'm not gonna do. Just a lot. Yeah. Next time I think I'll do it. It's just the issue is then I'd be working on this screen, and so it would. My camera is this way, and my other screen is this way. It's just inconvenient. I mean, I could move the camera over here. It'd just be annoying to have to constantly shift the camera back and forth every time I'm either playing a game or working on a project. Hammy's like, yeah, you could, I guess maybe you'll just have to save up and get yourself a new GPU. And I'm like, I can't afford that. I'm like, I barely make ends meet. Like, but eventually I'm sure I'll be able to save up enough. But yeah, for now, we should probably have our character move around. And it's all gone, yeah. I thought to build a new computer when my when I got my tax returns, and it's all gone. Yeah, I need to talk to my friend who helps me with my taxes and see about getting that done, because my tax returns are usually pretty good considering I'm very under the poverty line, so the government gives me money out of pity. I never owe taxes, though Hammy and I are supposed to actually put our taxes together this year, which will kind of screw me over for my tax returns, but will help him so that he has less to pay. Also, I need to shave. Got like a random, really thick hair that's bothering me. Anyway, I need to stop playing with the hairs on my face. Okay, so this here can move into a function. So we're gonna create a function. So where's check button presses? It's down here. We're gonna make function check facing. And check facing is just gonna be this. So if I put check facing here, actually, yeah, check facing, then continues to work. There we go. And gameplay is currently going to just have functions. I don't want to have loose code inside of these. I want only functions, as much as I can, to keep it nice and clean. Oh, I got that really annoying hair. It's like awkwardly thick and scraggly. I don't like that. So, need head and shoulders. Head and shoulders? I mean, I wash my hair with head and shoulders. Don't use it in my beard. I don't really have a beard. I don't like having facial hair, but I've been waiting on Dollar Shave Club to send me new razors because my razors are like 2 months old, and I want some less dull razors, but they haven't sent them because there's some kind of delay, and it's been a while, and I'm thinking, I'm really annoyed because I was going to cancel Dollar Shave Club and just get regular razors, or like an electric razor or something. And then they changed their blades, and they were really, really good. And then the next month, they're like, oh, we have a delay. Yes, call about your lost package. You don't want packages to be lost forever. One second. What is the on death thing? On death, this. We'll see. Do. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. So tomorrow, for supper, I am making fettuccine alfredo. Chicken fettuccine alfredo. And it is very loosely chicken fettuccine alfredo because it does not use any of the traditional stuff. I make it using, like, you're supposed to use like very specific cheese, you're supposed to do a very specific type of sauce, but mine is very loosely based on Alfredo, and I like it. I really like it, and one of my friends who is Italian was like, you know what? I've lived my life eating like pasta sauces, and this is by far one of my favorite pasta sauces I've ever had. I was like, oh, well, thank you. Okay, we need to turn this into a movement. So we need to add... What do we need? We need movement. So here, once we check the button press, and once we get the facing, we want to then move our character. So let's check over here what is going on, because we're moving away from these characters because these were made while I was still learning a lot of stuff. So, like, all of the movement stuff is all just free-floating inside of physics process. So variable move speed equals vector 2 x speed x y speed normalized times speed. Okay, so we got movement speed x, movement speed y, variable move speed multiplier. Just 1 for now. So let's go back here. So we have that. Okay, what exactly is move and slide? Do I need that? Move and slide. Move the body based on velocity. If the body collides with another, it will slide along the other body by default only on floor, rather than stop immediately. If the other body is a character body 2D or a rigid body 2D, it will also be affected by the motion of the other body. You can use this to make moving and rotating platforms, or to make nodes push other nodes. Modifies velocity. If a slide collision occurred, to get the latest collision, call get last slide collision. For detailed information about collision that occurred, use get slide collision. When a body touches a moving platform, the platform's velocity is automatically added to the body motion. If a collision occurs due to a platform's motion, it will always be first to slide collision. The general behavior and available properties change according to the motion mode. Returns true if the body collides, otherwise returns false. I feel like we don't need that. Because we're doing a top-down game, and we don't really need that, I don't think. Though we might need it for like colliding with buildings and trees. So I guess I'll add it in anyway. So we're gonna make move character. Move character on X and Y axes. So function move character is going to be largely what we had over here of variable movement speed equals this, because we want it normalized so that you're not going faster at angles, because we would have, 1 second, if I bring this up, if we have a, 1 second, I have a grid for this. Open recent, 1 second, open, not that. Pictures, art, a sprite, Cobalt game, math grid. Okay, let's hide that for now. Make a new node. Shift N. So the reason why we want to do that is because if we take into consideration that our character is basically 0.0, because we're going to be moving relative to our character. So if we press up, let's say that this is 1, and then this is negative 1. This is negative 1. And this is 1. Second. Damn it. Negative 1. Okay, so if we take into consideration that this is negative 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is negative 1. So we've got our x-axes and our y-axes. And so if we press up, our movement becomes, our current vector becomes this. So our vector becomes 0 on the x-axis, 1 on the, oh wait, no, we're working in Godot. 1 second. Godot works differently. So Godot works the opposite. This is negative 1. This is negative 1. This is positive 1. And this is positive 1. Okay, so if we press up, our vector then becomes 0, negative 1. If we were to instead press right, our vector would then become 1, 0. So 1 on the x-axis, 0 on the other axis. If we were to press up and right at the same time, our axis, this would be our vector. So if you notice, these are all, so 1 second, let me go to like a gray or something. So from here to here is 1. From here to here is 1. From here to here is the square root of 1 squared plus 1 squared. I believe. Yes. So the square root of, no. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Sorry. This is the square root of 1 squared plus 2 plus 1 squared. So this is the square root of 2, which is not equal to 1. So what we want to do is we want to normalize this. So this, it will calculate this and then it'll normalize it, which means it'll turn it to a vector of 1. So instead of this, we will get, if I do this, second, let's make another layer real fast. Control and Shift N. Okay, so I'm gonna make another one of these. Up, E, up. There we go. Put that here, and then make a line. Oops. Where's the gray that I had? So we're gonna take this. And basically, what's going to happen is we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And that will give us the... That didn't work very well. 1 second, I need to... There we go. So if I get rid of this, this is a normalized vector. So that way, you will be going the same speed as if you would, you'd be going a normalized speed. It would work better. It works better. So going diagonal, you will then be going diagonal at the same speed as if you were to just go right, or if you were to just go left. And as you can see, it would make a perfect circle if we did that all the way around. Because there is a normalized circle where everything equals one distance away perfectly. Anyway, that's a digression. So what we want to do over here is we want to create a vector that is the directions, and then we want to normalize it. This will make it so that if we're using an analog stick, no matter which angle we put in all 360 degrees with the analog stick, it will always be moving at a constant rate. So we're going to do this, Control C, because in the previous one, in the previous function, which is check button press, we are getting we're getting +1s and -1s in X and Y axes. So pressing left and right at the same time will get you a +1 and a -1, which will equal down to 0. Letting go will give you a -1 and a +1, which will equal down to 0. It's imperfect, because if you play around with all the buttons, it is possible to get things stuck, and I need to figure out a way to fix that. But for now, we will deal with that when we get to it. So we're going to move character. So here we want to do this. This is move speed multiplier. This is move speed X and move speed Y. And then we're going to move the character. So, second, how did we do that? We just did global position plus equals. So, global position plus equals move speed. Oh, okay, perfect time. We are going to do a quick BRB, and then I will add some more stuff to this. So I'll be back in just a bit. So, I realized that a game that I wanted to keep playing until I beat it, I kind of stopped playing it, and that kind of bothers me, and I think I might play it at the end of the stream today. So, I've been playing the Belonging. I started at the starting of the year, and I wanted to play it I wanted to play it every week, but we haven't played it in like 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks. And it's a game that plays with time. Like it goes, it continues to play in the background in real time while you are not playing it. And I haven't checked in on my character in a while, and that kind of makes me sad because they're kind of, their time is moving, even though time here is also moving, and they've just been kind of alone this whole time, and I haven't checked in on them in a while, and I don't know how much time has passed, because we've been improving their house, and as you improve their place, time moves more quickly, and so we need to check in on them. So I think I'm gonna do that at the end of the stream. I think I'm going to do it like after I'm done with this stuff. I'm gonna go check in on them, and we'll see how they're doing, because I kind of feel bad because they're just lonely and they're just waiting there. So I think that's something I'm gonna do at the end of the stream today. Before I go raid somebody, I'm gonna play that for a little bit. Yeah. So let's go back to what I was doing. Let's go upstairs. Wrong button. There we go. Nope, wrong button. Wait, how did that get stuck here? There we go. I pressed the button too early, and I guess it prematurely tried to go back and then just did not go the full distance. Okay, so we're gonna quickly check to make sure that this works. So we're gonna put move character in here. And then it works. Oh. What happened? Oh. 1 second. We're still setting it to game over. So, okay, well, we know that game over works because I pressed down and it destroyed my character. So, that's something. Okay. Okay, so let's let's add to the speed. So speed multiplier, let's put 2. They sent it to the wrong mailbox. Huh. Is it going to be easy to get back to you? Is it like a different mailbox for yourself, or was it just they sent it to completely the wrong person? You're on 2B. They sent it to 5B. Okay. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue to get it back, right? Okay, well, I'm glad that you got it back. Trust me, it's a lot less choppy on my screen. Okay. Okay, I got my character moving properly. I might add more speed. Okay. Test stage contains signal manager. Signal manager contains player. Oh, I need to check if my... One second. Apparently everybody decided to start streaming a little bit after me. Okay, stretch. Okay, so we have movement. Movement is functioning. We need player's stats. What kind of stats do we need? Okay, so let's... We need player stats. Player stats. Okay, so what do we need? We're going to need... so we've got our speed multiplier. That's going to be one of them. So speed... multiplier. We're going to need damage multiplier. Damage. Multi. That's muddy. Multi. Okay, what else are we gonna need? So we... Damage multiplier, I guess for like... That's going to add to base damage for all of our attacks. Attack delay. Multiplier. So I'm thinking that attacks will have an attack delay, which can then be added on, but I think the character will also have an attack delay multiplier, which will then be added or multiplied onto that. Maybe? I don't know. But speed multiplier makes sense because we want to be able to increase and decrease the character's speed. Damage multiplier makes sense as well because it'll make the damage go up. And so if you're dealing 1 damage with a multiplier of 1, you will be dealing 1 damage. If you're dealing 2 damage with a multiplier of 1, you will be dealing 2 damage. But if your multiplier goes up to 2, 1 damage at the multiplier to 2 is 2 damage, 2 damage with the multiplier of 2 is 4 damage. So there's the possibility of, let's get rid of this. Actually, let's just close this. Don't save. I don't think I'll need that again. Speed multiplier, damage multiplier, attack multiplier, or attack delay multiplier. Health. H. E. It's obviously gonna need some that is gonna be able to go up and down and stuff. Cammy is home. What else do we want to do? So speed, damage, attack, delay, HP. This is going to be something that we're going to have to design as well, because I don't know how in-depth I want to get with this. So this is good for now, I think. And then I could put this all in a dictionary, which then I could call upon. So then instead of... Second, how do I make a dictionary in this? GD script dictionary. So we're gonna make a variable. No. Should that be in the player? Yeah, because we don't want to ask the signal manager every time. So variable player stats equals we're gonna put speed multiplier for now equals 3.5. And then we're gonna put damage multiplier which we're gonna put to 1 for now. Attack delay multiplier. Hey, Senny. I will definitely take some water. How you doing? Okay. Multiplier. So, then down here, I should be able to do times, and then I go player that dot get second speed multiplier. And now, if I press play... Okay, it broke. I didn't use it properly. Just sleepy kitsune as usual, wanting to nap more, but at the same time I know I should keep my sleep schedule normal so I am not asleep most of FE. I mean, up to you. How does this work? Get. So this is part of the dictionary. Okay, so what does the dictionary? I need get Sorry, I forgot about it. 1 second. How do I use this? So keys returns the list of keys in the dictionary. Eating snacks and streaming soon, so I'll be lurker mode. That's okay. I appreciate lurking. How do I get returns the corresponding value for the given key in the dictionary. If the key does not exist, returns default or null parameter. But okay, so that's weird. So let's go back to 1 second. I need to close some of these. Close. So player stats dot get speed multiplier. Okay, 1 second. First of all, I'm gonna just put this. Oh, I'm gonna Control X this. I'm gonna put on ready. I'm just gonna debug player stats. So speed multiplier seems to be correct. Okay, 1 second. So player stats dot get speed underscore multiplier. Okay, so let's see what happens if I press play. Receives null. Why? 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 Eating snacks and streaming soon. Okay. Why is it not working? Did I mistype it? Control C, Control B. No. Oh, yeah, that is misspelt. I like misspelt it in like each one. Thank you. Hi Andy, how's it going? Multiplier. Speed underscore multiplier. Okay, it received the thing. Okay, so I was just typoing. That's good to know. Because I was worried that I wasn't using the thing properly. So now times player stat dot get speed multiplier. So now if I press play, there we go. Now it's working. So I'm going to be using that for my player stats. So anywhere I need player stats, I will call player stats dot get the player stat. Does that sound right? Should I do that a different way? Because I feel like it would be easy to change the player stats this way. So I feel like I should probably shorthand like speed mul. Yeah, I think I should do mul instead of multiplier, because apparently I don't know how to spell multiplier. There we go. It points was 5, and I'll be able to change this. So if I want to 1 second. On ready, I'm going to change. So player stats dot set second dot get speed score mul equals 5. That's not how you do that. Okay. How would I change that? Is there any way that I can change the value inside of a dictionary? Let's look at this real fast. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here. This. Make the dictionary read only in disables modification. 1 second. What if I do what if I do this? Player stats speed null equals 5. I don't know if that was faster. Okay, that works. Good. Okay, so in that case, do I even need to do... Do I need that? Can I do this? Can I do that? I can. Good. Nice. Okay, that saves me a little bit of stuff. And plus, I could put things in here. Okay, so I can change stats this way. That is great to know. Dictionary containing player stats. Stat name string stat amount There we go. Do that so that I know what the format is. It's obvious, but I still want to write it down just so that we know that it's stat name string and stat amount int. Nope. Float. We're gonna make them floats. We don't need to add an F, right? That's not a thing in this. No. We're gonna put floats. That way, everything does not have to be total amounts. HP maybe should be an integer, but that's fine. Okay, so we know to do that. As we get more stats, we will put them in here. We will do the same thing for enemy stats as well. I'm going to do that here. So Control C. Enemy stats. Because I think this is going to be a good way of doing stats, where it is easy to see what is what. One second. Max. I'm gonna put max HP and current HP. Max HP. Current HP. Probably not great. Probably not the most efficient way to do this, to keep it inside of this, because it's going to have to look through this each time. But it's not like we have a million stats, at least not yet. So doing this for the HP should be fine. And then when we take damage, we will change this. So we're going to need take damage, so I'm going to make that function right now. Oh, no, I did not mean to be inside of this. Function, take damage. Player stats dot, one second, take damage amount, player stats, current HP minus equals damage amount if player stats dot current HP, no, not pH level, HP, if player status stats dot, sorry, open bracket, current HP is less than or equal to 0. On player death. Else do damage animations and stuff. And on damage effects. Okay, so let's check the on damage over here. We had a thing that like flashed. Take damage. We have a damage animation. And if we go to this damage animation, we do this. So the character like flashes red for a second. And then we have a thing on the timer timeout. Sorry, damage animation timer timeout. So we have a lot of stuff here. So I think this is a good way of doing the stats because it will all be inside of this. And then we could actually have like each character's stats inside of this. Because we're gonna have multiple characters later on. I could just have them as variables, but I feel like that's gonna get really muddy. Like very, very quickly, it's gonna get like... If we look at the stats over, or the variables over here, we have like a whole bunch of variables. And I feel like we could just have those inside of the thing. Inside of the character for things that are not going to change super quickly. Because we do have our movement speed X, movement speed Y. We can get rid of this one now. Movement speed X and Y are literally just for to see if for like how things equate when we're pressing up, down, left, and right. I wonder if I can use my analog stick with this. Or my controller. Oh yeah, I can. Right now it's just up, down, left, and right because of the way that things are set up. So you only have 8 directions, which I think is fine. Analogs, or instead of analog stick, it's like D-pad inputs. That's fine. Okay. So we have movement. Oh, I wanted to put some text on something. Receives game state and changes game state to match. The best thing about having this over here is that it doesn't need to be in any single function or any single update mode, because right now I have different update modes, and I don't need any of them to check to make sure that it is working, or to check for those, because it is always checking for those, because it is it's always checking for signals, or it only looks for signals when the signal is emitted. Are you ready for the Moomin game to be released in a few days? I know nothing about Moomin, so, I mean, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. It looks cute. It looks wholesome. I know nothing about Moomin, and I will not be playing it, so at least not anytime soon, because I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the go. Also, I beat Senny. You're constantly poking me about all of these intellectual properties that I know nothing about. So, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. But I finished Final Fantasy Crisis Core yesterday. It made me sad. The ending made me sad, even though I knew basically what was going to be happening at the end of the game. It still made me sad. It was a very, very sad ending. The whole game was very bittersweet, knowing what would happen to the characters. Take damage amount. I'll put that outside of this. Receives damage amount and subtracts from... Oh, actually, I'll put that inside of here. When player takes damage. Subtracts damage amount from player current HP. That was a loud bang outside. There's constantly noise out there. Ugh. Kind of miss living out in the middle of nowhere where it's just quiet all the time. If player current HP less than or equal to 0, do player dies. Else do on damage effects. Damage animation on damage effects. So I might have a thing called on damage, on player damage, which will then trigger things depending on like what you have as a character, because maybe you have a character that will I don't know, when they take damage, their damage multiplier goes up or something. So that would happen like when you take damage. If you didn't die, your stat would go up. Though we might want to check the if player stat death at the end, because maybe you have a thing that says if you take damage, there's a chance that you won't lose damage. So yeah, we'll do that last, because it is possible for you to take damage and maybe regain a hit point. Maybe there's like a lucky chance of like, oh, if you get hit by something, there's a 50% chance you won't take damage because of this one item that you have. So yeah, I feel like this should go at the bottom. X. I think I'm gonna have to figure out how to do, what are they called? Delegates properly, so that I can fill like on player damage. On player damage is, I feel like, going to be filled with delegates, so that when on player damage is called, it will then gain all of the delegates that were added into it and do them all. So by default, on player damage might just cause a damage animation, but then later on I might want to add a delegate to it that makes it so that you deal 0.5 damage back, or damage times 0.5 back to the enemy or something like that, and it'll go through the list of delegates and then call all of them and do all of them before it checks to see if the character's dead. I think that might be something to do. I think that's how you can use delegates. I'm not entirely sure, because if I'm not mistaken, these down here, these functions are delegates, technically, because you're delegating stuff whenever... I don't know. Yeah, I need to look up how to use delegates, I think. Maybe? So I'm gonna put a on character damage function on player damage. List of things player must do when on taking damage. On player damage. There we go. So that looks about right. So when the player takes damage, or should take damage be inside of on player damage? I don't know. On player damage effects is what this is going to be called. Because you're going to take damage, your HP goes down, and then on player damage effects take place. And then if player's HP is currently 0, the player dies, and on player death effects take place. I feel like let's make it so that I don't know if you'll ever have an extra life, but I feel like we should potentially put it in there just in case. Because like The Binding of Isaac is a game in which when you die, you go back to the start of the game. But it also has extra lives. Like, you can get an item that gives you an extra life. You can play as a character that gives you an extra life. You can get items that make it so that you have a bunch of extra lives. And I think it might be worth putting lives in here and setting it to 0 by default. Inside of stats. Lives. 0. Actually, let's put that up with HP. If player's current HP is less than 0, and player lives is less than or equal to 0, else if player lives. Second, player stats lives minus equals 1. On respawn effects on player respawn. Function on player respawn.
Oh shit.
I think I should change these from on whatever to just player def, because on should be specifically for the connection calls. So this should be player Okay. Time for our last ad break of the day. So I'm gonna take a quick quick ad break. Why is this wrong? Player reson. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick BRB and I'll be right back. While you guys do the ad break. So. I'm back. Sorry, I grabbed a granola bar, just to snack on. So player damage effect. I think I'm gonna call it player on damage effect. On damage effect. And then I'm gonna call the other one player.
Oh, come on. Fuck you.
Player on. 1 second, where was it? Called it player death. Player on death. One second, let's do this. This is gonna be inside of player death. If player lives is more than 0, else player respawn if player has any extra lives, respawn else game over. Yeah, I think I'll have player hit, which leads into take damage, which leads to player on damage effects, which can possibly lead into death. So I think on player hit is where you might have the option of like damage reduction or damage ignoring. Like it could potentially you could potentially have a thing that makes it so that 50% of the time when you take damage, you will dodge the damage. So you will get hit, but then it will send 0 to the amount of damage that you've taken. I think that's an option. But we have take damage. Check facing. Changes horizontal facing of flip of player player sprites. Do on damage effect if player's HP is less than or equal to 0. Oops. What else? Contains function for when player dies. Player respawn. Player stats, lives. Oh. Subtract all life. Do list of things to happen when player respawns. I don't know if I want to spawn the player back at full health or not. Move characters fairly. Creates a variable to contain movement information. Movement vector. One second. Contain normalized movement vector. Okay, so creates a variable to contain normalized movement vector times speed multiplier. Moves player global position according to move speed. Okay. Effects that take place when player takes damage. Function player respawn. Handles respawning player if player has more than one life. Contains functions for when player dies. Take damage when player takes damage. I feel like this should move. So I can move this up to beneath on damage. And then on-player death is here, and then on-respawn is directly beneath it. I think that's a good way to keep these organized. Every time I look at the clock, so much time has moved. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm working really slow because I feel like I've hardly done anything. I look over to the clock and like 10 minutes has passed. Sends request to change game state. To _ game state. Sends request to signal manager. You know what? It doesn't actually send it directly to the game manager. It just emits request to change game state. We know that it goes to the signal manager, but it does not care where it goes. It's just saying, it's just emitting it out there. Like, we could potentially have the enemy pick up on this, but we don't need that because the signal is going to do signal manager is going to do it. But it technically does not send it to the signal manager, but the signal manager does catch it. I feel like this is a lot more organized than my previous one. On game stat change. Receives signal from signal manager or game state. Okay. Enemy, now we need to add a lot of the same stuff here to the enemy, because the enemies are going to have on damage effects, because it is possible for an enemy, that way it'll be possible for me to add stuff to the enemy, like, hey, when the enemy takes damage, they do a burst of damage around them or something like that, or they shoot out projectiles, or they get knocked back, or they teleport away, stuff like that. On damage effect, but it's going to be enemy on damage effect. So we're going to take all of these and put them over there. We don't need enemy respawn because that does not need to be a thing. So we're going to take damage on player. Yeah, okay, so let's take all that. Control C. Oh, wait, before I do that, I need to make the enemy stats list. So I'm going to take this, Control C. Go over to the enemy. Oh, we've already got that. Never mind. Let's grab all of this. Too far. God damn it. Just do the thing. Control C. Go here. When I'm just gonna go to all the places where it says player. Damn it. What did I do? Player, 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 player. We don't need this. Game does not need to change states when the enemy dies. Okay. Okay. Did I have that on ready? I do. Okay. Oh. There we go. Things are looking a lot more clean than they were before. Move forward. Player. Okay, we don't have any other functions for this yet. How do I want to do the classes? Is that going to be just a different player stat block? Will I have, like, player class and then have an enum thing inside? How do I want to do that? Because there's a few different ways that I could do this. Do I want to keep track of base stats? Because if base stats change, could potentially have 2 blocks and then have the player stats or player base stats plus the class stats. That, I feel like that would get really muddy early, like quickly, of having like 3 different stat blocks of like 1 stat block for like the base stats, and then 1 stat block for class stats. So like this plus this plus any additional stats that we get from levels. So then you could have like a base movement of 3. So like move of 3, and then let's say you're a ranger, so you get like plus 3 to your movement, and then you have like boots that give you an extra 2 to your movement. But then every time I would do this, I would have to have like player base player stat base move or speed plus player stat ranger speed plus player stat bonus speed. That did not fully type out. It did not go the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this directly in here. So my issue is that if I were to do it that way, so I could have a bunch of player stats, and whenever you pick a class, it like adds stats to the main character or to the base player. Or I could just have each class be their respective like thing. And then when you multi-class, maybe then you get like stat increases or bonuses. I'm not entirely sure, but we could do 1 static and 1 that is not static. So like player stats would stay the same, but then you would have your bonuses, which would have pluses and minuses in them. So whenever you would want to, like, you'd have your speed equals player stats base speed plus player stats ranger speed plus player stats bonus speed. Like, that would get very, very long very quickly. But I mean, it is an option, but like that would be very long-winded. I could have a I don't know, I feel like I could have a script that just has player stats in them. But then there's also the option of scriptable objects for like base stats, where I could just grab the base stats for new characters. Also, for each player, do I want to instantiate one of these players, or do I want to just like add on to the main player? I'm just not really sure. Oop. Did not mean to delete all of that. Okay, so players, the characters will need stats. That is for sure. I think I'll spawn in different versions of the player. So like your main player is the one that you control, and the other ones are kind of NPCs that follow you around, I think. You'll be like a trail. Like a train of people. So if you like walk around in a circle, they'll all walk in a circle with you. Been so busy I can type in chat blah. Still lurking. I appreciate the lurk. That's okay. I'm mostly talking to myself. Ugh. Trying to figure things out. So if we do scriptable objects that contain stat blocks, then we could potentially pick up those stat blocks. Well, a class needs to be a bard. Doesn't attack, only seduces and hurts enemies by breaking their hearts. Okay, so Okay. I need stat blocks. So I feel like your character, should have a base stat block that then adds things up. Is it possible to add two dictionaries that are exactly the same to each other? Can you add a dictionary to another dictionary? I could potentially do a for each loop. So for key in dictionary, or for each key if key equals, but I have to do two for loops, one inside the other. Second. It's probably going to be faster if I type this out to figure it out. Okay, so I'm just going to make a new one for fun. Oh, that doesn't work. So for each key in dictionary, for each key A in dictionary A, I'll just put dict A. For each key B in dictionary B, if key A equals key B, if that happens, then dict A. Oh, 1 second. I forgot to put the thing. Put the this. Dict A key A plus equals dict B key B Would break pop out of both loops, I wonder? Break GD script. Second. Does it only break the inside loop, or does it break both loops? Is what I'm wondering. Break inner for loop. Break inner for loop. GD script. Can terminate the loop at any time with a break statement. This might be used to break out of a loop that is used to search for an item within a collection or text document. To skip to the end of the statement block. So I feel like that would work. One second. I'm gonna test this out. So I'm gonna test this. Control X. Function test stat block merge. Block stats A stats B or each key in underscore stats A underscore stats B for key A oh, 1 second. One second, let's see something. For loop in for loop Godot for loop Godot dictionary. How do you look through keys in a dictionary? For item in dictionary, print item. For key in dictionary, variable value equals dictionary key. Okay, so key underscore A equals variable. Is that gonna work? Dot. Why? What do you mean there's supposed to be expected? Oh. I was wondering what was going on. There was a dot. There was a period. Okay, let's put player, sorry, under ready. This, we're gonna put player stats, and then player stats class. And then we're gonna take dots. And then we're gonna debug player stats. And we want to on Oh, I don't need this, do I? Wow, that just works. Huh. HP is 10, current HP is 10, multiplier is 7. That's awesome. Okay. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's awesome. Okay, so test stat block merge. We're just gonna call this class stat block merge. Base player stats. Class stats. Actually, I'm gonna put player stats, not base player stats. Okay, so that just works, which is amazing. And it means that I'm using the break command properly, which is nice, because that doesn't often happen. So I'll be able to make a bunch of, what this means is I'll be able to make a bunch of player, so I'll be able to have a base player. You will then have, like, you'll have the base character, and then if there's variants of the character, they will have these variant stats added to them. So they will not be like legitimately the same stats, but like let's say there's a weaker character, they might have -1.0 here, where you will then start with a max HP of 4 instead of 5. Or you pick a character that is stronger or something, we will then add those stats onto there. And I think that's a great idea of how to do this, because player stats will hold that, and adding player classes to it will just merge them directly in. It's just grabbing everything and adding it together. So long as this is the same as this, it'll always just work. Okay, so let's put a bit of stuff on here. Adds to player stat dictionaries together. Okay, so that was kind of cool, and I think I might do the same with the enemy, where we'll have a base enemy, but then we'll add different things to it. Test stat merge block. We can get rid of this now. Okay. And yeah, that's where we're gonna be ending this part. I'm gonna go turn on the oven so that we can start, so Hammy and I can start heating up our pizza. But before I go, since I'm not working tomorrow, I want to go a bit longer, but I'm not gonna do this. I want to play The Longing a little bit, because I didn't get the chance to do that in a little while, and I want to see how our dude's doing. I want to make sure he's okay. So I'm gonna do a quick BRB, get everything set up, and then I'll be back and we'll play a very chill, very calm, very Some might call it boring. I think it's just relaxing game. So, I'll be back in a bit.